Welcome to Tattoo Shop Talk.
Welcome.
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 Weekly web show about stuff that we usually talk in tattoo shops with tattooists, customers, and other people involved. And we share this information with you via medium of YouTube and global network. So stick around and enjoy. Today we will talk about portfolios. That's the thing we always mention, like how to find out if tattooist is good, shop is good. We always say check their portfolios. But now we'll talk more about what to look in those portfolios. So we will start with tattoo artist portfolios, then we'll talk about shop portfolios in general, and at the end we'll kind of finish off with some stuff that you should be aware of. That's the things can be misleading or just things that are not important, so don't get carried away on the wrong stuff. Let's say that would be like some sort of warnings, what to avoid looking at in portfolios. I will put those things by time in description so you can jump to that section right away if you're bored about stuff that's talked before. The shortcuts will be in description. So let's start with portfolios. Mr. Uldis.
Yes, Mr. Juris.
This is Mr. Uldis, by the way.
This is Mr. Juris.
Hello. When you look at artist portfolios, what's important for you? What things you pay attention to? What makes it good artist for you?
Most of it, it's the drawing.
The artwork itself.
Yeah. Well, technically speaking, it's not that... It's important. Like, it shouldn't be done with your leg or something like that. It shouldn't look...
So more important is artwork, but technically what you pay attention to?
It shouldn't be, like...
Awful.
Awful, made by a kitchen wizard or some sort of... But, you know, you can fix up a bad tattoo, which is a good drawing, which has a good drawing, but you can't really fix a bad drawing even if it's done really good. So,
okay. There's like different styles and different things apply to different styles what's considered good. So let's say same stuff you doing,
well,
like some traditional, like Japanese, some kind of stuff. What would you look into that apart from the drawing?
First thing is like, people come to the tattoo shop. They think that he's a tattooer, he can do everything. You know, I want this, he will give you that. But it doesn't really work like that. So if you ask for realism, you kind of have to check the tattooer if he's able to do it or not. If he is, or how good is he? Right? Because there's a lot of those color realism tattooers who just makes one session and it looks good, takes the picture, it's flawless, it's a million likes and everybody's like crazy and wants to get sessions done with that tattoo artist, but they don't really know how it heals. That's the other thing. You need to see healed tattoos of that tattooer at least a year. At least. That's when it kind of settles in. So 3 weeks, 3 months is not even close to healed tattoo. It's healed, but it's not.
It's not settled in. Okay. So that would be one thing. Also, like if you go, like we had it with some artists, like when I was working in London, he was doing like realistic stuff and people were like, and his work was amazing, but people were like, I like his work, so I want to get session with him. And when they come to session, they want some like completely different style. And the guy is like, I'm not doing that. So I think if you're checking portfolios, so don't expect that every tattooist can do everything. And if you want like a Japanese koi fish sleeve and you go to a realistic guy, I'm not saying that they can do it, but maybe they should have pictures of what. And then you can look into all that like lines or shadows or I don't know.
Yeah, but imagine if you don't know nothing, it's your first tattoo. You heard of, I don't know, you're a fisherman, I want to fish, right? You don't know nothing about like koi fish's life. I saw, yeah, that's a fish. But Google is like filled with crappy koi fishes, which isn't really like, I had some clients that come, I want a dragon, I was like, oh, cool, yeah, let's do like do you want like Japanese? Yeah, I want Japanese. And they show those Russian fantasy, dragons, and like, well, yeah, it's not not my cup of tea. But
Also, word traditional is very like, I have it from customers often. They just like, doesn't mean for them traditional what it means for tattooists. It's just like they kind of stick.
mostly black and gray, maybe.
I think it's just word that makes them feel safe. Like, yeah, traditional. Like they don't even think what it is. They're just traditional. So probably for them traditional is tattoos that they've seen most. That's the traditional. But come on, I want to go technical. I want to know, like, I want to be hipster cool, and I want to get one sleeve with all black, another sleeve with anchors and swallows. So I go to tattoo artist. I say, can you do traditional anchors and swallows? They say yes. Like, where's your portfolio? Like, here you go. What should I pay attention to?
Like I said, drawings, man.
Anchor is anchor.
Anchor is anchor. Like proportions, the style wise, is it the same with koi fishes? Every style has its like. People says that no, traditional is like baby drawings. Well, it's not. Like it's quite hard to get that real traditional taste. You know, the proportions, the black, how you put it in, and everything. You know, it has to look tough.
Yeah, there's something about them that some look like children drawings, and they're not the good examples. And then there's some when you look at them and you're like, oh, this is badass.
So I personally I don't mind small errors technically in my tattoo, but traditional, it has to be kind of simple is hard to do, so it has to be kind of perfect. Like realism, if you want to get realism, I would suggest to look for contrasts, like that gray washed out tattoos. I mean, I don't know how they will age with time.
Yeah, so, like with realistic, I think you don't have to just look at like, oh, look, those eyes are so pretty. Yeah, you have to see the whole picture, and you have to see how strong it stands out. Because I've seen work when it's after a couple of years, it's just those beautiful eyes. There's face, there's 2 dots where nose used to be, some lines where like it was mouth, and then just eyes and some hair, and it's like none of these shapes are there and all that. So sometimes even those people, they work looks too dark in the beginning.
Yeah.
And like we also had it from customers where like, oh my god, it's so dark, but then they come back for a checkup after a month or 2, they're like, oh, like you actually didn't lie, like it healed and it looks nice.
It really depends on the ink. It might go the other way around. It might just flatten out and be really dark.
Yeah, but that's the thing that depends on the skill, because like, you know, there's so many good examples when people were tattooing with just fucking, what's the drawing ink? Indian ink. Talents and stuff. So for traditional, then how solid it looks. The lines should be lines.
Yeah.
The black should be black. Colors should be there. Probably with like real old school stuff.
You don't need pack the color wall to wall. You need to leave skin breaks. In that case, it will heal a bit better. It won't blur out that much. And plus, a lot of tattoo, like in traditional, for me, I don't go crazy with thick lines, because like traditional is like associated with thick lines. Well, they blow up. They get like bigger. So if you get a line like that, it will be like that. So it might blow out. If you get a small swallow like that with thick lines, it will look cool.
I think that's also like a stage of tattooists that they get at that point where they can finally afford the machine that can do all lines, the big ones, and then they want to do all lines like super huge. And
thick lines are cool. It's just for me, I find that I like thinner lines. I have a feeling that they will kind of age better. So I always tell my clients my tattoos look good after like they look good at the beginning as well, but they will look like I want them to look after a year and a half or 2 or so.
With those thick lines, also like I think it was Carlos who said that, like, but those old school tattoos that are now with thick lines, they were thin in the beginning. Yeah. It's just they are all like fucking 50 years old, and then there's those dudes like who do swallow this size with 14 liner, it's like those lines in the wings are almost like touching already. It's like, come on,
But
man.
maybe it's so thick that it will stay like that forever.
Well, then it's black work, you know. What about black work? When it's black, talking black art, what would you look into portfolio? Probably healed stuff as well. Because to make flat black is like, whoa,
It's not
good
easy.
luck.
But everything is easy if you know how to do it.
But for those who don't know and they're looking for the tattooist, what they should look for? I think
The
for
skill.
neo-traditional, it's also like the artwork, because
everything is artwork. If you do like black work, and I'm not talking about just blacking out your arms or legs or face or whatever. You know, those are like tribally lookings, but heavy tribally, which are not really tribally. Just the way how the design works with your skin. If you see that the guy is drawing good, although again, if you're a regular guy who just wants angels with clouds all over his arm, then I mean, if you don't know how it should look and you don't see the difference, then I guess the portfolio wouldn't really help.
I would say to look for the sleeves with less clouds, because clouds are not main object, that's like the background, and some people just want to have that sleeve done and they just like have a little angel there, a little one there, rest of it clouds. It's like
It's like, it's a matter of taste, but some
either
people
you have
like
it or you don't.
taste of shit.
Maybe.
I like taste of shit. Yeah, about that taste. As the tour at the beginning, I was into like the realism and colors and maybe new schoolish something, like like you
So
say.
it looks like it's shining.
Yeah, it's shiny and chrome and all that, but as I got older and wiser and into wizard stuff,
Less is more.
Less is more. Seeing how my tattoos heal. Maybe I'm really bad tattooer, so my tattoos heal really bad with time. But yeah, the way I tattoo now is because of my experience, how I know how it will look after a while, and I like my tattoos for them to be good after even 10, 15 years or so.
Okay, good stuff, man. Now let's talk about shops portfolios, because often when people are looking for the place, they don't know the artist and they just look at the shop's homepage, and then there's all these artists and all that stuff, so things might get confusing.
Those shops, like guest artist shops, where there's constantly changing artists, so you might see world famous tattooer being there, and it will turn out that he was there just once, and they still have his portfolio and blah blah blah. So you kind of need to do your homework,
Like always.
like always. You need to know what you want. Kind of like if you will get your first tattoo, it will turn out bad. Maybe you will not notice it, and you will continue to go to that tattooist, and maybe at the beginning change your tattooers.
See
I
the
don't know.
difference.
Yeah.
Also listen to what people say when they're like, oh, that shop is good and that artist there is good. And also, there's like also the shop where I work, we had so many guest artists and we have all those portfolios, and when people ask, I say like, this guy is not here anymore, but I have other guy who's doing that style. But don't assume just by looking at those pictures that all people can do that stuff. Or if there's not that guy and they say we have other one, and obviously again with showing examples, not just trusting, because it can be like, oh yeah, we have another guy who can do the same, and maybe it's not even close, and they do something very different or bad, and then it's like.
But you think that people care? Some of them care, but I feel that like 60-70% are like, I just want to. I want to look bad.
Yeah, but this video is for them who care, because they
care.
already googled and they somehow found this video, and they're like, oh, they saying that there's
They
some
found it
difference
because there were two beautiful men talking and drinking beer.
which is also a good thing.
So if you're lonely and you want to drink beer,
We with you, pal. Opeles
Opel.
or whatever. So with this shop thing, we kind of already dozing off into that stuff where what things could be misleading. Yeah, in a shop, I would say checking portfolios and checking reviews and what maybe people you know have told about that shop. So like just to make sure that it's trustworthy would be the word. So you can go to the place and they will tell you the truth. Like, you know, they will say, okay, this artist can do it, this artist cannot do it. Maybe it's good idea to wait like a month till the guest artist comes in who's like really pro in the style, if it matters for you. But yeah, if the shop is not like that asshole kind of place who's like, no, come in now, we have like the best man for best job at any time of the day, then yeah, that would be good stuff.
And a longer waiting list in the shop usually
Is a good
shows
thing.
that's the place where people go. But anyways, if you're gonna get tattooed and you're looking at a portfolio and like, well, this guy's work is good, but you know, I want something different. There's like 60-70% that he might do it. He might have a secret portfolio of black and gray, or even he's like traditional guy, but he does black and gray, but he doesn't want to show that he's doing black and gray because he will more work in black and gray, blah blah blah. So yeah, if you go to a shop and see a portfolio, you like the guy's work, but you don't really want that. You want something black and grayish.
Or just different stuff.
Yeah, he doesn't have it in his portfolio. He says he can do it. He kind of needs to back it up with secret portfolio, like I said before. Then yeah, just don't expect to get something different than his portfolio. It'll be really similar. The handwriting and everything, it will duplicate. You know.
I think that thing what you just said also applies for like Instagrams. Like if you see a guy's Instagram and like we say a lot of traditional because we have a lot of artists like that, but they post the stuff what they like to do, but they also do a lot of other stuff and they can do way more. They have pictures of their works on their phones and all that, so it's just matter of communication and asking, and like if they say like yeah and look, I did this and that and this, and that's all cool. Awesome. Okay, and now let's talk about stuff to avoid paying attention to, the stuff that can be misleading. For example, when you check portfolios, like one thing I always kind of think could be misleading is those big pieces. When people see the full back, they get amazed, just like, whoa, that guy does full backs, and like this is like,
he must be good.
Yeah, look at
Because
this
it's
stuff, but look into it, because maybe it's a shit back piece, maybe it's a shit sleeve, maybe it's a shit face tattoo, because just it's like, you know, you get amazed by the whole thing, but when you look in detail...
If you don't know, you don't know. That's the thing. I mean, if you've been into tattooing as a collector, or you know what's good, what's not, maybe you will notice it, but if you don't know, you know, it's like buying a car. I can buy a car, which is normal. I don't know. I don't know anything about cars.
Yeah, but then you Google, you watch car shop talk.
Car shop talk, yeah.
So yeah, that would be one thing. With designs, that's what you said. Like when we're looking for artists, like don't look at the skulls they do.
Yeah,
because you like skulls, they always
they're always simple designs that look good,
and you have to be gifted to mess up skull that bad that it doesn't look like a skull, and even if you mess it up, then it looks like one of those scary horror skull. Roses, I think, fall into same department.
No, they might look
but
like
I've seen some that look not like cabbage. I've seen some that look like garbage. Cabbage is alright.
Yeah, if it turns out to be a cabbage, just say it's a cabbage.
I gave a cabbage to my love.
It's
yeah.
more useful.
What
Cabbage
else?
is useful.
For example, again, if you're looking for that stuff where it's like, I want to get a little writing or a stick man that it's very trendy now, or some like line around your wrist, and then you see this guy's portfolio, which is all ladies. which is all like these shaded beautiful pieces, and you think this artist is so good because he does all this good work, and
So
like
he
obviously
must
they
be
they
good
might
with lines.
they might not even take your stuff because they're just busy doing what they're doing, but also like it doesn't necessarily mean that they can do good lines because there's just no lines in them works.
Well, that's yeah. I mean, most of them can do lines, but there are a few exceptions. Maybe I guess there's a chance, in this whole universe, then one tattooer can be bad at lines.
I
and
met
good at
some, but
shading.
probably they can pull off a stickman or a little writing. They might not be great with your big graphic, super symmetrical something mandala tiger beer.
Mandala Tiger beer.
Beer, because it's always beer somehow.
Yeah, for the guy who's drinking with us.
Cheers,
Cheers.
buddy. So that would be stuff, and as for the shops, that misleading part would be maybe when you look at the whole like thing, and you just accept that every artist is as good as the best picture, but maybe that's somebody who's been there like once 4 years ago and all that. So that would be where you should be like, am I booked with that guy, or is that person who's doing tattoo can actually do this, or like do they have specific portfolio? Because don't assume just that everyone is doing everything. Or if it's small thing, maybe they have specifically somebody who's like just now knocking them writings out, like some apprentice or junior tattooist or something like that.
Which I think it's like writing, small calligraphy. Oh my god, that's not apprentice stuff. That's hard.
That's not peanuts.
That's not easy.
Like, yeah, again, that's more goes back to the communication. But for example, like you can be sure till it's too late. When it's done, you can be like, oh shit, like look what happened. Because often design is just lines.
That's the thing with when our people are getting cover-ups, they have almost sleeve done, and now they come and they want to cover up. Like, in what moment you didn't understood that like he's doing bad work? Like, how much did you need to see that it's shit here, and probably this will be shit here as well, but you continue.
Or like not even bad work, maybe not the stuff that you are looking for to get. Because I can understand when you see the design and it's just lines, and you can like, it can be like realistic, it can be not so realistic, and when it's done, then it's a bit too late. But I think that's also communication, checking portfolios, looking at the work, because like, like when you look at the stencil of realistic or some black and gray rows,
it's
like
wild. Yeah, it will be like hard to see what it will look like for some tattoos, because some stencils look wild and you just have to trust your tattooer. But that's again returning to checking out his portfolio.
And for cover-ups, that's also a big thing. Like, you have to be sure what you don't like about it, and you have to be sure about what's gonna happen, because if you don't like your cover-up and you need cover-up on cover-up, then you like
Black word.
then you deep in the scheisse.
Like cover-ups again, it's not like you will have something that you want. That's like, you want what? You want a skull or a pony? Okay, you're not into skulls, you're more into something more gentle stuff. So okay, so black horse, but I want brown horse. No, you're not having it. So there's like, you just have to trust your tattooer, because cover up is a hard task even for a tattooer, and if you get into his way and kind of shift him, like I want this and that, you will kind of take out stuff that he's planned for it to work. So he's just doing his work the best he can, cover it up. So that's, you just basically have to trust your tattooer.
And I would say, like you mentioned in the beginning, check healed works.
Yeah.
Because I've seen so much stuff.
That's the thing with cover-ups. It always looks good when it's fresh. when it will heal after that year and a half. Covering stuff like with golden yellow or bright reds never gonna work. The old tattoo will.
Or there's
cuts
now
away.
very popular for those black and gray, but black and gray with gray,
Gray,
and
gray.
it like it's covered, but it already looks kind of muddy. And I have not seen
But
them
that's
healed.
one of the ways how to do it. Just make all of it muddy, so you kind of can if you have. Okay, I won't go into details on how to do cover-ups, but that's one way how to do it. But it will look dark, it will look heavy. Get ready for that.
And some of them looks like they already look suspicious when fresh, and when healed you don't know what's gonna be there and what's gonna be faded or whatever, because there's
Imagine those like old tattoos that you see on like elderlies. It's like blowed out. Like imagine two tattoos together and like
that
smudge.
kind of stuff. So healed works, and like healed works for cover-ups. When
Again,
they
it depends on your skin as well. If you're dark skin and you're really tan in summer, then like it's a nightmare. You can't use white, all that stuff. It will turn yellowish.
But also like with cover-ups, especially with like some serious stuff, which is like bigger pieces, not like a little name that you can cover with like a shadow from a rose. It's almost like a specific niche. Like it has to be somebody who's like, oh yeah, I know what to do. I often say to people when like they like, I don't know what I want, but I want this to be gone, and then they're like, I don't want it to be too big. I say like, like if it's this situation when you're not sure and all that, like it's not our problem.
This time be sure.
Yeah, it's
The
not
first
our
time you weren't.
problem if we don't touch it. Once we try to do something and then you're not happy again, then it's kind of already on us. So like, let's figure this stuff out, or let's just not do it.
Yeah.
Or laser.
Or saw.
Or... So let's finish this thing off with some for portfolios. When you look into stuff, look for styles what you want, and all those characteristics for the styles you can probably Google
The
and just
thing
look for it.
actually that I suggest my clients, I give them like if they're into like they want Japanese or they want traditional or they want this and that. I give them if they want Japanese, I give them like okay, there's Mike Rubendal, take him and take a look who is he following. Obviously he will be following good tattooers as well. So you kind of do your homework like that. You get one good tattooer, you find different like Shiga maybe or something which is like Japanese, right? You take
Different branch.
it's a bit different, and you get Henning, you get and there's different kind of ways to do that Japanese. So that would be one way how to get if you find just realistic tattooer which you like and see who is he following.
So you recommend for people to do homework, you recommend to check like kind of your favorite artists in that style and see what branches off from that style.
If you don't know any, if you know, I want a fish, right? And I like this fish in Google, which looks like a penis, but it's kind of Japanesey. So you go to a shop, you show us this, and we're like, oh, that's Japanese. If the shop is good, so
they will point you direction.
Yeah, they will show you better quality of
fish.
Fish.
They will show you
Fresh fish.
better fish.
And and if you see this video and you will use this, how can I say it, like tip, and just go to a shop and ask for some different tattoo portfolios, like, and see what they do and bring it back, and if
what
they can do it
and what they recommend. Also,
Yeah.
listen to that, because there might be also a situation when they're like, oh, that's not me, that's him who's actually into this stuff.
But that's the way how you can like see what's good and what's not, just by searching. Like if you know one good tattooer, just check his workout and check his friend's workout, and you know.
And as for shop portfolios and checking the shops out, again, communication, ask questions and all that stuff. There's no problem to check out other shops and see what they saying, because like if you sense bullshit, double check with somebody else, you know, with somebody like, no, this is impossible, you have to do it like this because I said so. You're like, okay. And if you go to other place and they say the same thing, then maybe you've been wrong, or maybe they are like, oh yeah. Back it up with examples, probably.
That's a better sign that the shop refuses to do something rather than doing it.
Because yeah, there's a reason.
There's a lot of stuff I don't do because it's not possible, and some tattooers will say that it's possible. Just like speaking about cover-ups,
it might be possible for them for the money.
Yeah, like for the money, or they think it will look the same after like 2 or 3 years. It will not. I don't believe it.
And also, like, if the works like are super crazy on the pictures, but there's no healed works, because like maybe that tattoo is, and maybe even the customer doesn't care about healed. They just want the price, the Instagram likes for the fresh work, and then they're like, whatever, like, you know, I have my tattoo, I'm happy, you know. But it's like maybe they are not even meant to look like good after 5 years.
Not mentioning any words or whatever, we had a tattooer here in the shop which had world famous tattooer's work, 8 hours on ribs, million likes on Facebook, and it was so bad you couldn't even tell what it is. If you do something like on my wrist for 9 hours, it better stay there. It didn't look like
I think he
nothing.
said that he needs like 5 more sessions, and every of those sessions are those like crazy number of hours. I mean, it would probably at some point stay there, but like it's just.
I mean, it's if it is the way how you work. But if you show people your work after your first session, which looks amazing, shiny and perfect, it's misleading, you know.
Yeah, and that fresh work is still on the guy's portfolio, which is a portrait of a face, and now that dude have just 2 eyes on his ribs, and also some.
And it's quite scarred as well. So
that
sad
stuff,
story, bro.
Yeah, and expensive probably as well. But yeah, check portfolios, and now you step in with your comments. How do you check portfolios, and what's important, and what's the stuff to stay away from, what can be misleading, and all that? Let us know in the comment section, and like always, hit that like button, scroll through the description of video and check on link of this dude's Instagram. Check his work and follow him, because he's a wonderful individual. And check all the other videos what pops up now. Subscribe to the channel, press like button, and be my friend. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you. You've been wonderful beer partner. We'll crack another one. Oh man, it's hot!